So we've just taken the last picture of the most important shot of the whole 2 weeks. It's the picture. Are you blowing your nose? Yeah. Oh, sorry. So all finished in Switzerland for now, but our next accommodation is actually in France. So we're going to be heading to a town outside of Geneva called Annemasse. But we had an awesome couple of days here out in the lodge. It's useless for staying connected with the real world because we've got no Wi-Fi here, but it's great to get inspired by the natural environment of Switzerland because we're literally in the middle of the mountains. And what we think we might do, because we've actually run out of Swiss francs, which if you've actually been here, you'll know how easy that is to do. But as I said, luckily we're staying in France, just over the border. We've still got euros, which is cool. So we've basically got enough for a dinner or a couple of coffees or a couple of beers or something like that. We will probably head over to Chamonix tomorrow, which is the home of Mont Blanc. So that will probably be the last vlog that I'll probably do. So Geneva, let's see what you got. Do you reckon it's any good?
We'll make it good.
We'll make it good. We'll make it amazing. Épique, as they say in France.
Yeah, so you're right.
Now we've just passed a little place called Thun, T-H-U-N, which is on the lake. I think the lake is called Thunersee. Now what I've done is I've just set up for a shot because across from me is the most fabulous view. I can see the Eiger and Monk, and I think the other ones are called I think there's the Jungfrau, which is up there as well. They're just giants, they're absolute giants. And what I've done is I've just set up, and it's just a little easy. I've just done actually a long exposure with the big stopper. I've done a couple of wides and a couple of tighter ones. And what I've also done is I've got the long lens on as well. And I'm probably going to merge a little panorama together just to see if that looks any better, so I can pick out a bit more detail in the mountains. There's been beautiful sunshine. It's actually a little bit diffused now from a cloud that's coming over. But I must say today, it's February, it's not even March yet, and it feels like June. It must be, I know I'm wearing a fleece and a woolly hat, but I am red hot. It must be about 14 degrees today. And yes, I know if you're watching this in Australia or America, then yeah, that's Arctic for you. But in February, 14, 15 degrees is really quite warm. So I'm going to pack up now, and then we're going to head over to Geneva. Oh, by the way, do you want to see the view? Hang on. So if I zoom in a bit, that one there, one that looks like it's got an A written on it, that's the Eiger, and the one behind it is called Monk. Here's the view, and there's some Swiss swans. Try saying that when you've had a few beers. Yeah, we're broken down. There we were in Chamonix, and we're just setting off to come home, back to our apartment, and we heard that horrible sound of, you know, that of the rubber dragging on the road. And yes, we've got a flat So now, luckily, Laura is the most organised person in the world. She has the international breakdown cover number. So we've just got to sit, wait for a phone call, and we've got to practice our French, because it looks like a French man will save our bacon. So we've now got to get, I don't know how this is going to work, if we're going to get a lift or if we're going to get a new tyre straight away. We can't get a new tyre because we're going to have to order it in. So it's not looking good because we've got to drive home. We've got to drive to Reims tomorrow, which is 7 hours. It's about 300 miles. What's this space? I don't know what's going to happen here. Here's the guilty party. Hang on. There she is. So apparently the international roadside recovery people have been called. International rescue. I'm expecting Virgil Tracy to turn up, I think. So all we've got to do now is just wait for the phone to ring, and hopefully we'll be out of here. But I don't know what we're going to do, because we've got to get, our Airbnb is an hour away. So I don't know if they're just going to get us off the road and just say, right, that's it. Or they're going to put a new tyre on our car or give us a spare. And when we get to our destination, we've got to buy a new tyre. I don't quite know what to do. A guy's coming to get us any minute now, but he's coming to collect the car for us to collect in the morning. And we're going to have to pick it up from a garage. And the cost is a little bit much, isn't it? And we've got to get a taxi home now, which we don't have to pay for, which is good news. So we're waiting for a taxi. And right now life is... This is probably the lowest point of the trip, isn't it? What a sorry sight.
Family, like, I literally was pulling up to get a ticket out of a thing, and that's what burst it.
Yeah, it was an accident, because that's what it was.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want them to think I was like driving really fast up to a curb or something.
They won't, babe. They won't.
Can you just explain?
Yeah. Still waiting. It's really difficult though, because we've had no communication from Mazda, so we don't know if we're staying we don't have the right place. We don't even know if this taxi's been booked, and we've got nowhere to go because we're freezing right now. It's snowing. It must be close to zero, and we've just got to wait. So any hopes and dreams of getting one last photo before the end of the trip, I think they've well and truly faded now. Having said that, it is quite a nice evening for photography, but it is snowing, so it'd be hopeless, it'd be pointless. So until then, we've just got to wait, just look at the scenery, try not to get too mad at the world. This is quite difficult at the moment, because we are hating life right now. But there's not too many times when you have to wait for a taxi in the mountains, in the snow.
Yeah.
Ok, au revoir.
Merci, au revoir.
Merci. Straight to the pizza shop. We've managed to get the car back into our town where we're staying, near Geneva. Until then we can pick it up, because it's basically arriving at 11:30, and every garage and most businesses close between 12 and 2 in France. That means that we could potentially get it before 12, or if it's not 12, it's going to be 3 o'clock, which is annoying. If that happens, it happens. We can't do anything about it. Basically waiting for a phone call to get a taxi to the garage to collect the car. We collect the car, we pack our stuff from the hotel, from the Airbnb, and then we head to Reims for the last leg of this European trip. Can't help but feel that if we broke down in Switzerland or Germany, this would have been sorted within an hour. So the latest is, we've just found out that our car is being delivered to a garage 60 miles away. The truck driver with our car decided that the traffic was too bad coming into the town en masse where we're staying. So he decided to just drop it off to the closest garage to where he was, because I hope he wasn't too inconvenienced. Hopefully he got back for his lunch. So what we have to do now is we have to wait until 4 o'clock. It's currently 1 o'clock, and we have to get a taxi to this town, which is in the middle of nowhere, which is probably about 10 miles from where the car was. So the poor truck driver, he only managed a couple of miles before he thought, no, this is too stressful. And then we have to go there and pay €180 for 2 tyres, because you can't just buy one, you have to buy 2, because both tyres have to be exactly the same brand. That's good. So yeah, just a little shout out to that truck driver. I hope that you weren't too stressed getting home. Apart from that, everything's brilliant. Everything's great. All jokes aside though, there probably are worse places to wait for something. Got a really nice view. So this isn't Lake Geneva, obviously. Lake Geneva's a good 5 mile away. But I can see snow-capped mountains, it's sunny, it's beautiful, it's blue sky. We just had a croissant on the balcony, black coffee. Yes, I was probably a little bit angrier than I am now a few minutes ago. But I've sort of come to terms with it now. And you just gotta laugh. So if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. And I don't want to cry. I really don't want to cry. I'm close to it. So I need to point out that they said that our car would be ready by 9 AM, which is maybe why we were both a little bit peeved. One thing that's been really good actually about this trip is that we've got really lucky with some of our balconies. I think a balcony just makes everything better. So I was in a real bad mood about the car. We came outside, we had a coffee and a croissant. Suddenly everything's good. It's a little bit cluttered, but it's not mine, so I don't mind. So we hope this isn't tempting fate, but I've just had a call that the car is ready earlier than we thought, and we have to get a taxi which is being arranged for us. So we're going to go, and we think that we're going to head back to Chamonix again. So like I say, hopefully not tempting fate, but we couldn't get enough of it yesterday. It was such a cool place, and the weather is so much better today, we might get a glimpse of Mont Blanc. So I'm taking my photo gear, and I'm hoping that it will be worth it. Finally, back in the car. How are you feeling?
I feel so much better now that I've got my car back.
Finally, we're back in the car and we can crack on, and hoping that we don't get another flat tyre.
Not going anywhere near that pay machine.
Yeah. Who'd have thought a car park curb could cause so much pain and suffering?
It wasn't even moving.
Oh my God. By the way, that taxi we just got here, we looked at the tariff, €170. Luckily, we don't have to pay that. So
let's go have fun.
Let's go have fun. Let's go live a little. Yeah, let's go not break down.
Let's go not puncture a tyre.
Yes, please. We've just taken the most important picture of the last 2 weeks, and that's the picture of me and Laura in front of somewhere really sexy. And that is Mont Blanc. Or we think it is, because everyone's taking pictures of it. But it's got a lovely golden red light on it. We just did a 3-stop exposure, and it looks really cool. So Mont Blanc, it's been emotional. Chamonix, nice to see you again. We'll probably be back here tomorrow, won't we, with another flat tyre. So, thoughts on the European trip?
It's been amazing.
It's been really good, and we want to come back soon. Oh, there's a plane.